be talking, and then you're going to be editing it with pictures later, right?
Yes.
Okay. So when you're editing it with the pictures, are you going to be should you want me to be looking at your camera?
You always the same structure.
Yeah. So start there and
Yes, and then talk to the tablet.
okay, like I'm talking to the neighbor.
Yes.
Okay, I want to hear myself better right now. Can I move this down? Where I
Yes.
hear it, testing 1 2 testing. This I like a lot more.
Yes.
Just
Perfect.
a whole bunch more.
Perfect. So I have the clap. So if you want your coffee, just tell me and grab and enter
Okay, thank you.
your coffee.
Yeah.
No, so
Yeah, why don't you give it to me now? Please. Okay. Help! Help, baby. Oh, doggies, thank you so much.
So now all cameras are ready.
Okay, we're all synced up.
Microphone is ready.
Cool.
So we start. You just welcome to the show and start
Okay.
the script. So
What show is this? Number?
don't
say?
Yes, don't say.
Okay.
Yes, welcome
shan't
to the
say.
show.
All right.
So 3, 2, 1.
Hello, welcome to the show. I spoke to Jared in India, and he conferred with his guru earlier today. Jared asked his guru if he could become a astrologer in India, a real guru, his guru, who he's there with, and derive benefit. And the guru said yes. And spontaneously today, while talking to Francisco, hi Francisco.
Fernando.
Fernando. Hi Fernando.
Hi.
I mean, I'm just checking if he's listening. We were talking about Jared, and I sent Jared an email saying, hey, I want you to do special reports and be the Sam Bell Show astrologer. And I contacted him and asked him. So synchronistic. It was very, very synchronistic. It was wonderful. Jared is Francisco, Fernando's friend, and so they've known each other for years, and it's just great having them as a team. And I couldn't handle India. I couldn't handle it. But he's over there doing his thing. So some big shindig. It's a Mystic India shindig's coming up in February in the Ganges River. When they all show up, they come down the mountains, probably the easy path, and bring their whatever. And everybody's going to be in there, those funny clothes. So he's going to be doing a report, special report, not to mention a bunch of other stuff on the show, which is great. I feel so good about that. It's good timing. It's very good timing. He can follow his desires, and we can help a lot of people and kind of drive, very, very, very minimal cost passive income in helping raise consciousness with music and what the different nationalities and nations have to share about willpower, unconditional love, and the ability to focus. So, any other news? No other news. Okay. Today we're going to talk about Machu Picchu. Now, we've been to Machu Picchu once about 10 years ago. It was okay. It's not easy to go way, way, way up in the middle of nowhere and then go downhill down the Urubamba River and then take a Mercedes bus up a hill or correction, a mountain, and then you're hiking around up there, and it's like, if you're, from Silicon Valley and, it's like you're used to 200-foot elevation, it's not easy. And I'm not going to chew the coca leaves and, drink the coca tea. I actually needed oxygen. So my second trip, well, I was looking forward to it because we're staying in a fine hotel. Actually, a 5-star hotel on the main street. And that's what leads me to this unbelievable story. And it ends up with calling in a UFO. Yeah. So, let's take a look at how this happened. Well, the van is going to pick us up like, I don't know, 8:30 in the morning outside the hotel. And we're out there and it's raining and we're bundled up. And it just so happens that the street is the street my wife grew up on when she was a little girl. And directly across the street there's like 4 doorways, but she can't remember which doorway it was. And she thinks it's the one directly across. So I said, okay, take a picture of there. I'm gonna take your picture while we're waiting for the other people to come get in the van. So she goes and she's standing at the doorway and I'm focusing in the camera and I look up at the right hand screen and it says spiritual meetings. I'm like, cool. So I click the picture, go on in, and a lady comes out and I can't communicate with her. She can't communicate with me. And then she disappears around the corner and this very nice, smaller, unique gentleman came around the corner and said, "Are you Sam?" He came around the corner, looked at me and said, "Are you Sam?" I said, "Yes." And then he turned around and walked, came back with another guy, big tall guy, black jacket. He said, "Are you Sam?" I said, "Yep." And then the tall guy said, "Well, we have to go say a prayer here in the square." And the building had a patio, had a wall around it and a patio. And I went to the patio and he said some prayer. It was to the sun. I think it was to the sun, And I said a little whoopee-doo. So, okay, bye, gotta go. I think I washed my hands in the bathroom there. And we ran out, got in the van. Well, came back, went to Machu Picchu, walked around. Lots of nice pictures, a wonderful, wonderful place. If you are a little bit adventurous, I would say absolutely you gotta go. It can be super convenient. There's 5-star hotels all over the place that it could be like none you've ever been to. And I've been to quite a few 5-star hotels in Cusco and right at the base of Machu Picchu. Great. Food, coffee, butterfly forest and, coffee trees, wonderful. But it's a jungle. Urubamba River. Climb up there. If you're at all crazy and you want to walk up and you really are crazy and you're in good health, go right ahead. Go right ahead. I would go. You go right ahead, climb up that mountain, have that spiritual experience. Anyway, all the people in that area are always, and their loved ones are always in my prayers. They're scraping through. It's not easy. Nice clothes, cell phones, and just barely scraping through. So it would really help all of us to help those individuals who haven't had the benefit of some things that some of us take for granted. You don't really appreciate it until you find out, what? You got to pay for the toilet paper. What? So, the gentleman who came out, his name was Guillermo. Okay, so I come back, he gives me an award and certifies me as a spiritual channel. Okay, that's good. And I'm recognized. All right, okay. A Peruvian, somebody from Peru who's helping the country of Peru recognizes that I communicate with angels. And he wouldn't confirm with the gentleman who was a bartender in the 5-star hotel, because they had a thing in the evening. They'd show you how to make a pisco sour. I think it was a pisco sour. Showed you how to make it. I didn't know what it was. So I went. There was nobody there but my wife and I, Blanca, and I channeled his angel. And Guillermo came over and talked to the bartender. The bartender said, "The guy channeled my angel." He did. So, I had my foot in the door there with at least going the right direction. Next thing I know, I'm back in Miraflores, Lima, Peru, beautiful area. And Guillermo calls me and says that he would like me to do a UFO conference in Trujillo, Peru. And that this conference is a repetitive conference, and they've had UFOs appear at the last one, which was in Brazil. I said, sure, cool, sounds interesting. Hope it doesn't cost much. And so we booked it. Here's the booking thing. Let me see if I can put this so you can see it. Yeah, there we go. So he says, we'll go there, we can get us some TV shows and radio programs and try to push it, promote it. I'm like, cool, here's the whole thing there. Such excitement. So, we go to Trujillo and they got some newspaper stuff. Excuse my, this is too sophisticated, I know, hang on. Yeah, I'm on there somewhere, right there. And it's on 2 radio shows, 2 or 3 radio shows, or 3 or 4, sorry, 3 or 4 radio shows, and at least 2 TV shows. It was kind of a blur. It was just a major blur. Helped a bunch of people, and went to, you're gonna have to help me with this word, Fernando.
Okay.
Municipalidad.
Municipalidad.
Come on over here. I'm not going to struggle through this. So it was this big building. It was really nice, and it was called
Municipalidad.
Municipalidad. Municipalidad. Municipalidad sounds like a dance. A whole bunch of people showed up. It was very, very, very cool. And Peru was flooded. I'm correcting. Trujillo was flooded, and it was a mess afterwards. Everything was dry, but it was like, it was a total mess. And there was a lot of people that were suffering, big time. People had zip before the flood, and now they got zip, and it's not nice. Zip. It's beyond comprehension. For a guy from Silicon Valley, it's beyond comprehension. So I went there and helped a bunch of people. It was so cool. And met some wonderful people, just so national and dedicated men and women. And when you have a trauma to society, sometimes that's when society comes together. That's if it doesn't come together, it comes apart. So communication and treating each other in a loving fashion is kind of important. So we, I did an event at Municipalidad. And then Guillermo says, well, we're going to go to Black Rock. I'm like, oh, okay, Black Rock. Sounds like a hard rock casino thing. Black Rock. I'm like, okay, we're going to Black Rock, all right. So the Peruvian taxi, which is like a 74 Toyota station wagon, we loaded it up. There was the driver, there was me, there was Jared, there was my wife Blanca, and there was another female, I apologize, I forget her name, very lovely lady, she spoke a little English. And there was Guillermo. And we're all jammed in that thing. Guillermo was in the back, it was poor Guillermo, with the luggage and everything. And we're going to Black Rock, and I'm like, yay, Black Rock. So then we get past a whole bunch of stuff, like I think it was sugarcane fields, a lot of sugarcane fields. And we get off there and there's nothing. Some blaring music that doesn't sound very good aimed at the beach. And a bunch of stalls, and there's nobody around, and a bunch of, Inca Cola signs. I'm like, oh, this is Black Rock. So then Guillermo's all excited. He brings me out to the edge of the edge, at the edge of the edge of the edge. We're in the middle of, nowhere next to edge. And he points way over there. It's like 3 miles, and there's a big Black Rock, and he goes, there's Black Rock. And I'm like, oh, cool. Nice to look at. I'll take a picture. And so he wants to walk down there. I'm like, oh. So Jared and I and Guillermo walked down there, and it was quite interesting. Quite interesting. I think some sort of, there's something about the rock or the area or something. And we did a little meditation there, meditation and prayer. It was nice. It was nice. We sat there under a little shade thing, and that was it. And unfortunately, a guy came by on a motorcycle way down the way, and I booked it over there and bartered with him to give us a ride back. And he just beat the hell out of this old motorcycle. Little motorcycle was 3 of us piled on there. And he brought us all the way back. We were so happy. We're like, oh, thank you, Daisy. That's my guardian angel. I'm like, thank you, Daisy. Thank you. So, 7 o'clock, he goes, we're going to go, all that days it goes 7 o'clock, we got to do the meditation call of the UFO. I'm like, okay. You know, it's not like he's saying it over and over again. He just said like once, maybe twice, you know, but he's got a straight face. He's staring at me saying that. We're going to go call on the UFO. And I'm like, okay, that's nice. We're at Black Rock. You know, I need a Coca-Cola. There's nothing here. You know, a hamburger. I need something, but, you know, they're not going to have something I like. I'm like, oh, Lord. And there wasn't anything. There's some chickens running around. So, okay. We get back, we park at the spot, the only spot that has any kind of food. And it has a patio and a wall and a sidewalk. And some plastic chairs and a big table. And it has the same thing on the inside and a bunch of Inca-Cola ads, and that's it. You know, and then there's a cooler against the wall, but it's not plugged in. And that's it. And then, you know, you could probably seat 300 people in there, but nobody's around. So, you know, no roof. So this guy comes out and, you know, he knows Guillermo. Okay, we talked to him, blah, blah, blah. He goes, yeah, channel his angel. Okay, well. So I channel this guy's angel. It's heavy. It's heavy. This guy's life, he's the family patriarch. Heavy stuff comes through. Guy can't afford shoes. And very, very powerful. It was a wonderful experience. I'll have a picture of him and I outside. So he tells his mother-in-law to go kill a chicken. Sure enough, they go kill the chicken. So meanwhile, we're sitting out there, you know, chilling. I'm drinking Coca-Cola like crazy and, you know, just trying to stay cool. Wondering what the hell's going on, waiting for 7 o'clock to go call on the UFO. Okay, hour or two passes, finally we get the chicken, eat the chicken. Okay, 7 o'clock's coming. So, you know, there's no lights. And then when you go to the edge of the beach, walking down towards the beach, there's no lights, it's pitch dark. And then when you walk out in the middle of nowhere from pitch dark, there's nothing. But it's great for looking at the stars, man. Woo, doggies. Great for looking at stars. So, we go out there and I got a K-bar cane, which is a defensive weapon. You know, it's a cane made out of aluminum, aircraft aluminum. You could, you know, break a car fender with it. And that's my only defensive. I also got a knife in my pocket. That's the only weapons I got. I don't know what's out there, right? And so I'm going out with Guillermo. You know, I kind of know Guillermo, but, you know, I don't know. So we walk out there and he goes, okay, this is what we're doing. I'm like, okay. And he goes, hey, you look up there. I'm like, oh, yeah, cool. So we're standing there. I'm about 300 yards from the beach, which is a pretty long distance, but the winds are blowing and the waves are crashing. So, you know, you can feel you're at the beach, but I'm about a quarter mile from where my wife was, maybe a half a mile, you know. So I'm out in the middle of nowhere. So I do my meditation with my eyes closed. So I do the Egyptian position, where I have my hands out like this, and I'm like, you know, blessed be Father God, and, you know, blessed be Mother God. And I'm doing my routine, and it's just beautiful. And for years I lived in San Francisco. I go to the beach 2-3 times a day and meditate on the beach. So when I bury my feet in the sand and start to go in that zone, man, you can really, you integrate well with resonances that are available. And the ocean and the sand is a great way to help connect. And then the sound of the waves is just conductive for resonance. So I'm there with my eyes closed, you know, our Lord Jesus Christ, blah, blah, blah. And I hear the sound, kind of like, you know, and I'm thinking, oh, what is that? It must be a quad runner way off to the right. It was like some kind of power station. It sounds like a quad runner. It's like, and I'm like, oh, must be, maybe it's a dirt bike. Maybe it's a dirt bike on the beach down where it's kind of flat, where we were earlier today. Huh. You know, the wind's blowing this direction, so I should be able to hear it. And I'm there like, and I open my eyes, I look, and Guillermo's making the sound. Guillermo's making the sound. Now, I'm a speech and language pathologist. I've worked on oral sound production big time. I've never heard the sounds this guy's making. It sounded kind of like an electric ice cream. I know that doesn't sound very well, but that's kind of like what it was. It was something else. And then he looks at me and says, look at Orion. And he, you know, I look up there and somehow I know which one's Orion. Like, I don't know what the hell Orion is, but I know it was Big Dipper, but whatever. He goes, look at Orion. The stars are really bright. And Orion just blasts a big old light. Blasts a big old light. And it comes on, and it goes off. And then they're looking at that going, the first thing I'm thinking was, wow, I definitely saw that. Wow, how big must that thing be? If it's, way out there, it's got to be pretty big, because it was big. And Guillermo looked at me, and he smiled. I was like, awesome, far out. So I'm like, wow, so cool, so cool. Now I've seen, I've mentioned before, I saw Mother God when I was with Sylvia. And so I've experienced having consciousness affected. When she appeared and disappeared in front of me, it didn't bother me. At the time, it was like, oh, look, she just appeared. Oh, look, she just disappeared. Well, when I went back to the restaurant, my wife, Blanca, and Jarrett were sitting there, and I said, I saw a UFO. They were like, not excited, not responsive whatsoever. They were like in a trance. And I'm like, holy mackerel, so interesting. My point is about consciousness. When you elevate your consciousness, it just means you might have a little more dynamic range of able to connect. So when you say your prayers, they might have more impact. In conclusion, you and all your loved ones are always, always in my prayers. Thank you.